All right, today we're tackling one of history's most epic structures. It's an engineering marvel, a stage for some seriously brutal entertainment, and a symbol that somehow survived for 2,000 years. This is the story of the Roman Colosseum.
So let's just jump right in. We love our modern stadiums, right? With the giant screens, the comfy seats, the whole experience. But what if I told you that 2 millennia ago, Rome built something that in sheer audacity could put pretty much any of them to shame?
I mean, we think we're so advanced with our luxury suites and retractable roofs, but the Romans, they packed in 50,000 spectators. They could flood the entire arena floor for staged naval battles. And they had hidden lifts and trapdoors to launch gladiators and wild animals right into the middle of the action. Forget jumbotrons. This was raw, live-action drama unfolding right in front of you.
So, the big question is, how on earth did they pull that off? And that brings us to our first section, the incredible engineering that went into building this absolute icon.
It all started back in 72 CE with Emperor Vespasian, but what's really mind-blowing is that it was finished in just 8 years by his son, Titus. And to celebrate? Oh, they just threw a festival of games that lasted for 100 straight days. Talk about an opening ceremony.
Now, before the Colosseum, if you wanted to build a huge arena, you usually had to find a hill. You dig into the hillside and let the earth itself support the structure. It was smart, practical, but not exactly groundbreaking.
But the Colosseum? Yeah, it was a total game changer. It didn't need a hill, it didn't need any natural support. This thing was a completely freestanding giant, a masterpiece of Roman concrete and stone arches. Honestly, nothing like it had ever been built before.
And the result of all that incredible engineering? An arena that could hold 50,000 people. Let that sink in for a second. That capacity rivals major professional sports stadiums we have today, and they built it nearly 2,000 years ago.
So what exactly were those 50,000 people coming to see? Well, let's dive into our next section, because this place was the ultimate entertainment venue for spectacles of life and, well, a lot of death.
The menu of events was just staggering. You had your classic one-on-one gladiator combat, of course, but you also had hunts with exotic animals shipped in from all over the empire, elaborate public executions, and even full-scale reenactments of famous battles. And the wildest part? They could actually flood the entire arena for naumachia, these massive mock naval battles with real ships.
But see, this wasn't just mindless violence. It was pure theater. Beneath the wooden arena floor was this hidden world, a whole network of tunnels and elevators and trapdoors. This meant they could make gladiators and lions appear as if from nowhere, creating the ultimate shock and awe for the crowds. But empires fall, tastes change, and the glory days of the Colosseum just couldn't last forever. So our next section covers its long, slow decline, from a grand arena to, of all things, a rock quarry.
So once the games faded into history, you have this massive, magnificent building just sitting there, full of valuable marble and stone. It was vulnerable. And it really makes you wonder, right? Where did all that stuff go?
Well, the answer lies in a single word: spolia. It's basically the practice of recycling building materials, taking stones and columns from old monuments to use in new ones. And for centuries, that's exactly what the Colosseum became, a gigantic, free hardware store for the city of Rome. Its journey after the Roman Empire is just fascinating. For a while, it was used as a fortress. It even had a little church inside. But for hundreds of years, its main purpose was as a quarry. Its beautiful marble and strong stone were stripped away to build palaces and churches all over the city. It really wasn't until the 19th century that people started to see it differently.
And that big shift in perspective brings us to our final section, how the Colosseum went from a crumbling ruin to the global symbol that we know and love today.
The 19th century was the real turning point. Finally, people began to see the Colosseum not as a pile of rocks, but as a priceless piece of world history. And so, serious preservation efforts kicked off, saving it from being stripped down any further and protecting it from the elements. This was the beginning of its big comeback story.
And because of those efforts, today, the Colosseum is one of the most popular tourist destinations on the entire planet. We're talking about almost 7 million people a year walking through those ancient arches, standing where gladiators once stood. It's incredible.
I mean, from a blood-soaked arena to a convenient quarry to a beloved landmark, the Colosseum has really seen it all. It has survived centuries of neglect and plunder to stand today as a protected monument.
an absolutely unmistakable symbol of the power, the genius, and, yeah, the brutality of ancient Rome.
Which leaves us with one last thought to chew on. This is an icon born from spectacular entertainment, yes, but also from unimaginable violence. So what does its endurance, its transformation into this cherished World Heritage Site, what does that tell us about our own history and about the stories we ultimately choose to save?